Hi guys, welcome to Fast Panda Gaming Live. We are back for another live stream to kick off 2024. You've got myself, Stormshroud. We have Claw, as always. And we have special guest, Voidspear, has come to join us for the evening. So we are going to be talking through the various release pictures we've had over the last few weeks, because we've got pictures for stuff coming out January, February, and some details about what's coming up in March. As well as going off topic, chatting to you guys, and maybe, depending on how time runs, talking about what we want to do in 2024 hobby-wise. Did I miss anything, Claw?
Probably.
Good.
Did I notice what you've missed? No.
So, Lloyd, welcome to 2024. Thank you for being here this evening. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. Dying of a cold, which probably most people are, even including our viewers. But so far, it's only been like 8 days in, but so far, good year.
So am I the only one that's not got a cold tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're Void's on some cough suites. I'm on other ones. I'm trying to try not to cough down the mic. We'll see how we do.
Okay, we've got some hellos. We've got Blizzaz, he says hellos. We've got Philip Davidson, evenings from St Helens. Good evening, Philip.
From the other side of the East Lancs.
Yeah. Mr. Endo P, hello. Good evening, mate. How you doing? We had a good one. T-Nexus 13, evening all. Good evening, sir. And Jam, Mr. Cooper. Happy New Year, pal. Thank you for coming along. It's great to have you along again. Right. So it's been a few weeks since we've done one of these lives. And basically, we've had a break because of Lawrence. Bless him. And what we thought we'd do is we'd carry on them, because Lawrence would always want us to carry on. He wouldn't want us to stop. So what we decided to do is have guests on. And this week we chose Steve, because Steve's basically his mate. Not Steve. And he's going to pick up his torch this week. If you want to come on, just drop us a line in the future, and we can get you going, and we can have a chat and have a see what the current issues are and all that kind of stuff.
And stop you and me just arguing with each other. This is what would happen if it was just the two of us.
Yeah, two of us is just an argument. 3 is a conversation.
See, I kind of feel like I may not be the best person here. I'm just going to here to stir things up a bit.
That's fine.
That's fine. It still makes it a more interesting conversation.
I mean, obviously, I can never replace Lawrence, but I am going to take on his mantle about edge highlights, but we'll get to that shortly.
That sounds like a brilliant segue to start talking about what we've got coming out this month. So we've seen pictures for what we've got. We're getting the regular release of the Cascuda, which is exactly the same model we've seen before, just without the fancy base.
Yeah.
He still looks like he's dabbing to me.
It's okay. We've discussed him before. We've got him, and I'm never going to probably use him. But the base, I like the way they've changed the base on it, so you can put your own style in there.
Tactical rock, but yeah, it's exactly the same model.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
So not a lot else to say.
No.
Now, the next model, I think, is the best of the bunch for January. It's the Caterer. I think that is a lovely sculpt. But I'm a big fan of the old Caterer, so I was probably biased before we started, but I think that's a lovely looking model.
Does it come with a plate behind her?
I think so, yeah. I think that's part of the tactical rock.
Right.
Whether or not you have to fit it or not, I don't know. It would be the part I would take off.
I mean, the last one came with half a brick.
The last one's on the staircase on the brick wall. Yeah, he's great.
Maybe. Unfortunately, I've been stung by Scottish snipers, so I'm not fussed.
It is really, really nice. I would say that, because just going to get straight into the complaining. Don't get me wrong, the actual paint scheme, I actually quite like it. And whoever's painting it has obviously done a fairly good job on the kilt itself. And this is going to be a theme as we go through. Look at the gun, okay? The actual model themselves painted quite well. There's always a shading, gradient, all the rest of it. The gun, they've simply gone from black to pretty much near white edge highlights. It's like they've got the professional painter in during the week, and then he's only part-time. So to finish it off, they give it to the guy who's watched one GW painting video and has just gone straight in with a slap of edge highlights on the gun.
It does make them look cartoony in my view. When you kind of have that kind of thing, but I'm not a fan of the tartan on this one either.
No, I don't know if it's just background and that's the cater and tartan or not, but you could have done a bit more with it. But yeah, it matches the artwork though.
But edge highlighting aside, I think it's a lovely model.
It is.
And I don't need another Cateron, but I might have to acquire one.
Nobody needs another one, but
Well, I don't know about that. Next up, we have the general release for the Digger, which I think is a very, I say 90s pose.
do you know what I like about this?
Mm-hmm.
You can do it in any colour for your faction.
Oh, yeah.
There's no kind of like silhouette template kind of thing for this. Oh, you know that this is this faction or this is that faction. You could paint it up like blue and have it as Panda. You can paint him up as green and have it as Ariadna. You can paint it up like yellow at the moment as Eugene. It's such a good idea, and they've done really well at making it a neutral model.
I mean, they've done a wonderful job at translating what they did for the concept art onto the paint scheme. All of the little notes and comments on his armour, or hair armour, I can't really tell, have transferred across.
Yeah, it was hair in the artwork. I'm not entirely sure about the sculpt, but it was definitely hair in the artwork. But I do love on his left boot that says "Your face here."
Yes.
Brilliant.
No, I think it's good. I think it's going to be quite popular. It's a cheap profile again in the game, so I can certainly see it being popular. It's just a bit, the pose to me is a bit sort of one-piece metal 90s. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, isn't it the old Space Marine captain with power fist in one hand and gun pointing out the other? Sort of pose.
Yeah. The next box we have for January is a rebox. It's the Druze, plus Jeffro, or Eagle Knauf, and Arslan.
Do you know what, guys? I bought a box of Druze, and I bought the 2017 Druze, because you get a Druze with rifle, and you don't get the awful Captain Aswan, or whatever his name is, who is probably one of the worst models I've seen for a long time, because he's been around for a long time, and you can tell he's been around for a long time. And also, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a rant here. Druze are Armour 3. That is not Armour 3.
It might be an Armour 3 t-shirt.
It's not. You know what I mean? When you look at a model, if you go back to the Digger, chunks of metal, exoskeleton, Armour 3. Is it Armour 3? Yeah. But these guys, it looks like they've got maybe Armour 1, maybe. They don't look right. They needed a resculpt. I was so looking forward to the Druze resculpt.
I know you were. I've heard this rant before. This is not the first time you've complained about this.
And to be honest, I was so disappointed. So disappointed. So I've gone and bought a 2017 Druze box with just the 4 Druze, without this silly sniper and this stupid captain. And I'm going to have to find a nice proxy.
Proxy?
Yeah, proxy.
For Arslan.
So any ideas who I could use for Aswan? Is it Aswan? The captain of
Arslan.
Yeah.
A-R-F. Yeah, something like that.
So if anybody's got any great ideas for what I can use as a proxy for him, just pop it in the comments. That'd be great. But I was so disappointed. So disappointed.
I'm not that bothered, because I wasn't as invested in the new Druze coming out as you. I think they're fine.
I like Druze. I like playing Druze. I was looking forward to Druze. No.
Should we move? Do you have any comments, Void, before we move on? Because I think Claude would like us to stop talking about them.
No, I have to admit, I've got everyone in that character pack from previous editions anyway. But I actually like the Jethro sculpt. I really do, with the sort of the rain camo cloak and things like that. I really like it. But I'm the same with Arslan. His t-shirt doesn't bother me, but the fact he's sort of in that night fever pose is just a bit weird.
Night fever. It's awful.
Okay, so we'll move on to the Lizard, which was long overdue a resculpt. It is wearing combat heels, which I know.
It's a girl lizard. Of course, it's wearing heels. It makes the thighs look better.
It's identified as a tag, Claw.
Got to have nice thighs, nice calves. Sorry, oh, the thighs are quite chunky as well.
I quite like it as a sculpt. I think it's a nice refresh on an older model. I think it looks. I could be reading too much into it, but I think it kind of looks like some of the older tags that they used to produce with the thicker armor plates and the more rounded shape to some parts. Kind of as correct about what the lizard is, which is that they were cheap tags that the Nomads got hold of and then retrofitted to make them viable.
Retrofitted heels.
Yeah.
It's Bakunin. It's all about style.
It is.
I have to admit, the only thing that gets me about these tags, and it's the same with the Stigmata, is the fact that the helmet's almost just like a faceplate on the chest. It's a bit Quasimodo sort of, on a Quasimodo tag sort of thing. At least you've got the Stigmata, you've got the halo to distract from it. But I do like it as a sculpt. It's just that it's the sort of head of the tag that gets me, I think.
Fair enough.
I'm not a fan. Sorry.
You're not a huge fan of the Bakunin stuff in general, though.
No.
It's not your aesthetic, is it?
Maybe it's the painting. Maybe it's this angle we're looking at. The painting-wise, it should have some object source lighting from the bottom. If you look at the base, it's got like a glowy blue thing, but there's actually nothing to show that on the actual model. So the painting, not impressed. The actual model, it's hunched over. It's got chunky thighs. It's got massive calves. It's got a picnic box on its shoulder. I'm not a fan. Sorry.
That's fair enough. I'm happy to be the only one out of three of us who likes that. That's fine. I don't mind being different. And then the last thing we're going to get in January is a new box of Myrmidons. Now, I'm a little disappointed they don't have shields. I really liked the shields when they re-released the Furikite. I was hoping that the shields would be a common theme throughout the range. So I'm kind of a little disappointed they don't have shields. But other than that, I think it's a solid box set and one that's needed if you play Steel Phalanx.
True. Having said that, I may just ruin it here. I have one gripe for it. And it's weird because it doesn't follow the same thing. The new Myrmidon you got in Beyond Blackwind didn't have this problem. And it's on the faceplates where they've got the sort of the Mandalorian sort of faceplate. They've gone with a bit more rounded sort of opening for mouth and rounded opening for the eyes. And if anyone's been a Red Dwarf fan and remember Legion and Red Dwarf, that's what the mouthpieces look like. And it's weird because the artwork has got a little bit more of a sort of tri-star effect on it. But they've kind of pinched it in right at the center, so you've got two eyes and a really wide open. It looks like it's sat on something sharp. But that's my only complaint. The rest of it looks brilliant.
Okay, I've not seen that before as something. When I looked at it, I will try not to see it when I look at it again because it might then be the only thing I ever see.
Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
Quite.
Yeah, I like these. I've got all the old models, all the old sculpts. These will make an addition. But let's face it, all we really want is the one with the chain rifle many times because it's like 16 points and it's vicious.
Yeah.
I like them. They should be black and shiny because that's what Myrmidons were. I'm not a fan of the purple, but the actual sculpts themselves, I think they're nice. The hacker at the front is our usual hacker kind of stance that we've got. We've got a nice one with a combi rifle. The one at the back with the pistol's probably my favourite. He's just kind of like finishing somebody off. I like these. These are so much that I've actually bought them.
Already?
Yeah, they're on the way.
Okay. That doesn't bode well for my future.
Oh, it does. I've got to paint them. You've seen my pile of them.
It's smaller than mine. Yeah. Anyway, before we move on to the February stuff, should we catch up with comments before we get
it's probably good
too far through?
Okay, so CJF, hello all. Hi, bro. Coyote BD. Hello, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Coyote. And thank you for the stuff behind the scenes you've been doing. I'm going to have a go at that this week.
It's brilliant.
Sorry?
It's brilliant. I tried it.
Oh, cool. Adam, Copperweek. Hi, guys. Good evening, Adam. It's nice to have you on. Adrian Britton. Evening from Aid in slightly snowy Bristol. It's not snowed up here at all. It's just a bit cold. KTBD. I really love the way the hair is painted.
That was on the Caterham.
That's fair enough. T-Nexus 13 says Borderlands art style.
The edge highlighting, yeah, I can see that.
Coyote BD says not sure what else there is to do on a black gun. It's also the style for Infinity guns lately. You know what? All I do is a light dry brush with a gun, and that's fine.
But not every gun has to be black.
No, I think I did Joe and Cordelia. Cordelia's gun pink because I thought she would have a pink gun. Coach BD says Vasquez, anyone mistook you for a man?
Good quote, good film.
No, was anyone mistook you one?
Nunkybot says evening all. Mikey R says evening everyone. Good evening, Mikey. It's nice to have you here. Hoppy, I can't wait to see the lizard painted in stockings.
It's going to take a better painter than me.
Yeah. We also had a comment from the Discord guys from Ruchforth who says just turned up to claw fat shaming a new tag. Yeah, we'll have words later, mate. And we've got Hoppy saying, I just can't unsee the high heels now. Trans Behemoth says, evening, folks. Good evening. Nice to have you along. I'm not too fussed about the new Myrmidons. They're kind of dull looking compared to the old ones with funky poses that chain rifle in particular is pants. But let's face it, the chain rifles one's the only one we're going to be taking because it's 16 points. Steve says, I can no longer unsee Legion. And says, probably just as well they aren't red and black and gold as they would be Legion. You know what? Somebody's going to be painting them Legion. Kubla Dan says, hi chaps, listening 10 minutes behind, but here nonetheless. Great to have you along anyway. And KHPD, the aliens quote was referenced to the digger, since we weren't sure of the gender they were wearing, and they were wearing a red bandana.
Good call.
Good call. Okay.
So, moving into February, we're getting some more reinforcements. We're getting the Ankh teams for Alas.
With a capital W. It's
written as ANK. Yeah. That is what I am reading. If you wish to insert other letters in there, you can.
I'm not inserting anything. There's a W in the image.
I don't see it. I'm not looking. And then we've got a group shot of all 6 of the models we're going to get. And I can't remember which one's which, but I know there's some Rixes, there's some Dewongs, I think they're all the remotes. Is an Artalis one of the others?
Yeah. You can't see it from that angle, but the Artalis is the one with the... if you look at the 3D renders, he looks like he's got a massive backside because he's carrying a huge... It's the old Ajax purse thing.
Okay. And then, I can't remember what the last one's called. Something with S.
Satra.
Thank you. Satra. So as a group, I think they look quite good. I think this is... I could be wrong, but this looks like a different painter to me.
It's not black and silver, so the guns are definitely different.
It's the same colour scheme, but it's been implemented differently. It's more of a grey-white than a white-white. So I don't know who painted these, but they don't look the same to me, but I'm not an expert. So we have individual pics as well of all of them, and renders. So the Artalis concept art. Looks like we get various guns on this one. This one comes with a combi rifle, doesn't it? This one. And you say, is this the one you say has a massive backside?
Yeah, because he's carrying the Ajax purse thing on one side.
Ah. Combat satchel.
Yes. It's just at first glance you sort of look at it and go, "Ooh, needs to go and see a doctor for that."
He's a nice sculpt though. He's going to be nice and easy to place, and he's not got arms and legs sticking out everywhere. Unlike one of these ones coming up. So the ones are good in close combat, aren't they?
Yeah, the one with the swords.
Yeah. They look like Dakinis but modified, which I think is good. And having some sort of consistent art style for the remotes.
Yeah, they've got that kind of maroon style close combat weapon as well.
Yeah,
it's a nice aesthetic. I quite like that.
I'm glad they didn't go with like double weapons or anything, because you're getting dangerously close to General Grievous territory here, with sort of robots with giant blending weapons.
But yeah, I quite like them.
I know the two ones. There's two sculpts. There's the one sort of in a
ready mode,
a ready stance, which I really like. The other one, I don't know if the way it's posed on the base, just looks like he might be a nightmare to balance and then place against any terrain.
Oh, you'll not get covered with that guy.
Ever. He's got an arm sticking forward and sideways and backwards and out. Pose looks great. It's going to be a nightmare for actually playing with.
Do you know what? I really would like to paint the kneecaps green so it looks like a little alien head.
Okay.
I think that's actually very similar to the old Fide pose from Red Veil, isn't it?
Could be.
Yeah, it's arms and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Got limbs going every direction. Whichever way I try to face it, I guarantee he's not going to be in cover. So that's the ones. Then we have concept art again for the rickshaw, which looks to me like a little bit more of a tactical. It looks like he's wearing a tactical vest.
It's the shooty one. We've had the hitty ones, now we've got the shooty ones.
Someone put a tactical vest on a Dakini.
Yeah. They've got the same model in 3D concept, get it a slightly different number and put some guns on it.
Yeah, that's slightly weird, because I mean, if you're looking at one as like just a gun-toting variant of the other, I mean, the Darwins have got like total immunity, and the rickshaws don't have anything, really. They've got mimetism and train total, that's about it. But the Dawans are evil, like the total immunity, dodge +3, so they're dodging on 16s anyway. They're ignoring your ammo types. And they've all got +1 burst template weapons, like a Myrmidon on speed.
But without the -6 mimetism.
True, but with the extra level of unconsciousness.
But if you've got a nice built-up power portion of your battlefield, that's where you're running them, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Mm.
Stat-wise, I think they'll be very popular. And sculpt-wise, I think they look fine. Again, it's just they're only available in reinforcements at the moment thing, which
is great for the Dawan, because if you put it in the main army and run a Rem racer, you can tune that thing up to something like 61.
Yep. Which I'm sure people are looking forward to doing at some point.
I don't want to
Just
be
not facing
the end of it, because I will be.
No one's looking forward to facing it. People are looking forward to doing it. I do go back to the sculpts for the rickshaw. I do like the heads. They look kind of, from certain angle, they look kind of jackal-esque. That could be my love of Stargate.
What I want to know is on the renders, why have they got the kind of little tags behind the feet? They haven't removed the tags.
You're right. They haven't removed what I would assume would be flashing on the models. Yeah,
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just what. I had to go back and have a look at the photograph, the actual the pictures, and no, they're not.
I assume that they have been trimmed off. Yeah, they're not there on those. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the big wheels in the back of the legs are a bit weird as well.
Those knee joints, they've always been there. They're standard across the Dakini and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The new Dakini, the old Dakinis didn't have them. They just had weird shin pads.
And the last model in the set is the Satra, which again we've got some concept art for, and then a 3D render. It's the standard hacker pose. I quite like the model.
But hacker with MSV2, it seems a bit weird.
What do you need MSV2 for if you're a hacker?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's to help allow you to put people in awkward situations.
True.
So I think that was all the pictures we have of the Ankh team's starter box, the reinforcements, alpha box, whatever it's called. I think all the sculpts in there look really nice. I think it'll be fine if people start playing reinforcements. I don't think there's anything in there that's going to put people off. But yeah, it's the reinforcement problem at the moment, isn't it? And the Alaf also are going to be getting their reinforcement beta box, which contains an Aspara, and it's a Juno with its Davabot.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's called.
Not Crackles. Yeah, something we
Kieran Bot. Kieran Bot, that's it.
One.
If you don't have them, it's a good box to buy.
It is. I already have all 3 of those, so I will not be picking that box up anytime soon because I don't need any more of them. But yeah, the sculpts are all nice. We've seen them all before. I still think the Aspara is a particularly nice sculpt. The redesign they did. Next up in February, something I think is going to be very popular. I know I'm pretty much certain Claw will be picking one up if he hasn't ordered one already. It's a new sculpt for a Guilang.
Yes, it means I don't have to see the one I've got.
Yeah, a Guilang with a combi rifle. It's supposed to be a hacker, but who cares? It's got a combi rifle. Everyone just wants more Guilangs.
Because they're good.
They are really good.
They're good.
Yeah, like AVA2, and otherwise you have to buy another sort of Kallstrom box set to get it.
Mm.
Yeah, no,
They're good. They're reasonable points value. They're a good unit. They're handy to have. Hackers wise, it'd be nice to have one kicking around to threaten things, especially when you've got tags and stuff for yourself.
Yeah,
it'd be nice. I will be buying one of these.
I think it's going to be very popular. I think people have been wanting another Guilang sculpt for ages. So next up, we move on to the Hack Islam portion of February, where we are going to start with the reinforcement beta box, because again, it's 3 sculpts we've seen before. It's Rahman Rouhani, Layla Sharif, and one of the Hakim medical drop troopy things.
Yeah, just what Hack Islam need, another doctor.
Yeah.
With light shotguns.
Yeah. Well, that one has a boarding shotgun, I think, rather than a light shotgun. He got an upgrade.
Yeah, he traded his in.
Yeah, 3 sculpts we've seen before, all nice sculpts.
And again,
good little box if you don't have them.
It's a good box if you haven't got them.
Yeah. And then we'll move on to the main Hack Islam Melek Reaction Force, where we have a picture of all 6, which is a Korsan, an Al-Hawar, 2 Sekban, a Hafsa, and then the one I can't remember.
Burkut.
There you go. This is why we brought you, so you can remember all the things we forget. I'm really pleased to see that we're getting a new Al-Hawar sculpt. It's been ages since we saw an Al-Hawar sculpt. Concept art looks good.
Yeah, but
the pose to me looks like they're in the middle of something really awkward that they shouldn't be doing in the middle of a battlefield.
Someone hand them a roll of paper. They're going to need it in a minute.
Yeah. That is the first thing I saw, unfortunately.
It is. You're right. It is unfortunate.
What was the original Al-Hawar sculpt? Was he on his knees or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, crouching down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the render doesn't do it any favours either.
No, the render doesn't help. So, yeah, it's a shame. I was hoping it would look better than it does. Because I think Al-Hawar's
because it looks terrible. That's what you're saying.
No, I think Al-Hawar's underappreciated.
The profile, yeah.
But again, the profile's great. The model, unfortunately, they've been really old, and this one I don't think is doing it any favours for it being taken more often. Next up, we have the artwork for the Burkut.
I quite like this one.
I like the artwork, looks really good. I like that sort of combat satchel he's got on the back, the toolkit or whatever. And it's been carried through as well into the model. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I quite like this one. It looks like you wouldn't have to do much paint work. Just let the inks and the dry brushing and all that kind of can do all the work for you.
So what you're saying is it's good for people like you and me who
fast painting
are
fast
painting, not perfectionists. I'm assuming they're engineers. I honestly haven't looked at the profiles. I have no idea.
The Burkutts, yeah, they're all engineers. It's in their actual profile themselves.
They definitely give an engineer vibe.
NWI, immunity to continuous damage, and shock immunity as well. Quite nice.
Yeah.
Flameproof is what you're saying.
Pretty much. Which is a bit evil considering they're in. If you run, if you consider all these sort of the men of the gate sort of derivatives, they're in the faction with the Azrael with everything continuous damage. You know what? I'm shooting at you.
Well, to be honest, it kind of makes sense because he's actually toting a heavy flamethrower. He doesn't really want to burn himself, so he is flameproof himself, and that's what it is. I like
He's got
that.
Teflon armor. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry, the Azrael with the continuous damage Spitfire is fantastic. Claws faced that in the couple of games we've played with reinforcements, and I played hack. He didn't like it in either one. Then a new Hafsa. Concept art, nice. Looks quite nice to me. I don't have any problem to that, and I quite like the render of the model as well. It's hard to dislike. It's not got. It's not doing anything particularly out there. I wouldn't have said.
No, it's also not
Rifle like
with his arms crossed like the original Hafsa.
No, he is not.
I still find that unit a weird one for reinforcements because the Hafsa's main trick was the whole hollow mask thing. But if your reinforcements are open information, you can play that trick, but it's kind of pointless.
It's a unit I think I'm glad they brought back, but yeah, how it fits in reinforcements is
I mean,
tricky
new
one.
sculpt's brilliant, but as a reinforcement profile, it just seems a bit weird.
And then we have the Corsan, who, when I initially looked at this box, I was trying to work out what character it was. Because it looked like a character pose to me, with that flowing cloak and sword and stuff. But,
I bet that's going to be a pig to build.
I'm not so sure. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until I've seen it. That
it's going to be the arm, the head, and the cloak as one piece.
Yeah.
Let's hope so, because...
And then one of the other arms is another piece.
Yeah. Let's hope so. Yeah, I've got better doing that kind of thing, so...
But she's going to be another one that's going to be fun to get against cover.
Yeah, she's also going to be one of those that she's only going to have a sword for as long as it takes you to get it out of the case and your foam that you put it in, because that's going to pierce the foam, get stuck, and you're going to rip her arm off the first time you pull her out.
But that might be accurate, but I think the painted version that we saw in the group shot, if I can find that again, looks really good. She seems to be a bit more colourful than the rest. She definitely stands out. Probably why I thought she was a character. But I think she's a good profile as well for reinforcement. She's cheap-ish.
Yeah, all of the Corsans are nice, especially if you're going to be playing them in the midfield. They're all CC -3, natural born warrior, so it's one of those. It's like, yeah, so if any of your enemy's warbands are still there, they're already at a disadvantage.
Yep.
Although the one thing I will say is, I was looking back at the studio updates, and Carlos mentioned it in a sort of flyaway comment going, there's more on these to come. No idea what that means, but there you go. Something to get excited about.
Ah, cool.
And then we have the Sekban, which it's nice to see them get a resculpt. They've been around for a while. They're quite popular.
Yeah. These look like they've got decent armor, unlike the Jews. Sorry. Is that still there? Sorry.
I would agree. These definitely look like they've got some good armor. They look tactical. They look kind of like someone's taken sort of modern special forces and sort of moved them forward. I do like these, both the sculpts.
Yeah, it's weird. One of them's got those two little pauldron things on the back, and the other one doesn't. It's a bit weird.
The things coming off his back. Yeah.
Having said that, they're bound to be a million times easier to put together than the old Sekban. I've got the old Sekban.
I wonder if that's just a thing from the render, because it looks like they should be there on the. It looks like the spaces for them on the AP rifle light shotgun variant. They're just not appearing on the render, but I would imagine they are on the model. Are they on the painted ones? Yeah, both painted versions have them.
Have they? Oh, I missed that then.
Yeah. Definitely there on both the painted versions. So that's all of that pack gone through. And the last thing we know we're getting in February is Rem Racers, apparently.
Yay!
Looking forward to this one.
It does. It's generated a lot more interest than I was expecting. I'm a little surprised.
Mm.
I'm thinking Infinity Mario Kart and just for sheer fun of it.
Well, we are supposed to be getting a copy being sent over to us by Corvus Belly to preview on the channel. So we will do something we'd never do is open the box and have a play, and we'll see what it's
a board game. We don't have to paint anything. It's a board game, yeah.
It's a board game, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have a look. We'll have a go, and we'll kind of we'll pop it on the channel, and we'll let you guys see what it's like.
I think all the Rems are different coloured plastics, aren't they?
They certainly have been in all the images. Whether or not that's going to hold through when we get to the actual box.
Yeah.
If not, I'm sure they'll be on different coloured discs or something to make it easier, because it is being marketed as a board game.
Yeah.
That you can play straight out of the box.
Okay, so we have a look at the comments.
It is a good point. We have got to the end of February.
Okay, so right, Transbehemoth, I'm right back there. Yes, I'm with you on that one. Steve says, Alelf's Dr. Palmer and his 5 daughters, they look very nice. I'm lost. Bear with me.
Transbehemoth says he's not too fussed. Get me an Ajax list up though. I'll be bouncing off the walls.
Yeah. Yeah, Ajax needs a new one, definitely. The Dawsons, LI rather than a Rem, though, aren't they? Richard Russell, the O12 and the LF are starting to blend together a bit with the Chappie robot all over.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, Rich.
Are linked anyway, so they're going to have that similar look, aren't they? Am I wrong?
They are, yeah. LF gets the stuff that O12 passes down to them.
Overloading and keeping the left under control.
Yeah, well, it's the same. I think O12 should have been a sectorial of LF. Call me
biased,
but yeah, I think
like blue touch paper stand well back on that one.
O12 should just have been a sectorial of LF, because that's what they are. You're not arguing with me. I like that.
We're just saying nothing. We're going to let everyone attack you instead.
Hobby says Rem Racers won't work. You can't deploy one with them. I think that's the book.
As things, you can't do a Rem driver on reinforcements as things stand. But we're anticipating.
If they ended up in the main bulk and you could deploy them at the start, they'd be a nightmare.
Steve says, don't think you can jack up the reinforcements box with Rem driver. I think you have to declare which bots you're boosting at deployment.
I think the next few comments are all people telling us you can't do that. We know.
Probably. I'm having technical difficulties. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, Rem driver deployment reinforcements 80s perm. I think that's down to the.
I'm guessing that's the Al-Hawar.
Al-Hawar, yes. Definitely. Transbehemoth and Steve are still chatting. Coyote BD says Pano Agnes is available in reinforcements with Rem driver skill, so he's putting his 2 pence in. It's quite an argument about the reinforcements thing with Rem drivers.
Yeah, there is a Rem driver in reinforcements, but I think it only drives it to CC15, which is lower than its base stat anyway, so you wouldn't do it. But...
Haster has popped in. Hi, made it to our live. Greetings from North Carolina. Hello, great to have you along. It's appreciated. Transbehemoth is still having a rant, I think. Let's make that Rishka a little more dangerous with BS13. Yeah. Psychic Storm, good evening, gentlemen. Just caught the live. We'll re-watch later segments I've missed. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Psychic Storm. It's nice to see you in. And not just on the Warcall threads. Steve Cooper, CB got better sculpting stuff for easy building until they designed the extra.
You weren't a fan of assembling then, were you, at all, Jam?
To be honest, I've seen a few people have not been a fan of assembling those in regards to having which arm goes to which body and all that kind of stuff. So you've got to be careful when you're getting them out of the bags that you don't mess them up. From what I've heard, so they're not great. So if you've got any other stories, let us know. Richard Ross's Corsans reminds me of the really impressive New Dale Army, a bit over sculpted for the profile, but great models. T Nexus says you won't have to paint anything. You won't have to paint anything. All that was for.
That was about. I'm guessing that was about the Rem races that we don't have to paint because it's a board game. You don't have to paint our models for Infinity, but we do.
Transbehemoth says it's Trans Behemoth, not CS Behemoth. Cis Behemoth. Sorry if I've upset you.
Sorry.
Psychic Storms is technically fluff-wise. It's the other way around. Aleph is a sectorial of the wider 012 army. That's nice. That's all right. Aleph is in charge. Aleph, we all know Aleph is in charge. So her two sectorials are sectorials of sectorials. Richard Russell says perhaps the other way around. Aleph should have been an 012 sectorial with the fluff that's going 012 with the CA sectorial soon. So yeah. Aleph's in charge. We all know that. We all know that Aleph is the evil AI.
I also spotted one in there. Someone saying that someone needs to sculpt a tiny roll of glue paper onto the Al-Hawar's fingers, which I think is quite funny. Okay, so that got us through February, and then in March we saw what we're getting. We haven't seen any pictures yet, as far as I'm aware. So in March we're getting Zeros, a new sculpt for the Azrael with Spitfire, the General Maximus release, an Anathematic Hacker, and then an action pack for Nomads and an action pack for Ariadne. No pickies that I'm aware of, unless you guys have found any that I know nothing about.
No, I'm not seeing anything.
No. I'm assuming the action packs are going to be the repacks of Crimson Stone.
I would assume so. Or at least or repacks of various bits and pieces.
It would make sense.
But yeah, I'm sure they'll do very well. I'm interested to see the new Anathematic because the old one with the silly antennae is a nightmare, and it's a very popular profile. Certainly in the events I've been to, I've seen lots of them. And the Azrael for Hack Islam reinforcements is a fantastic profile. So yeah, definitely needs a new sculpt because the only one that's about that I'm aware of has a HMG. And then we got a random picture of Tawu, which I assume is coming out at some point soon as a general release because that was the Aristea model, wasn't it?
That's the one I've got. Yeah,
that's the one you've got.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we've got a picture of that.
The repack.
Yeah, it must be a repack for something, but I don't know when it's coming out or why. They just dropped a picture of it again.
Could just be the picture. It's the same picture as well.
It is. Nothing on the base or anything. Okay, so that gets us through all the pictures of stuff that we've got coming out this month, next month, and an idea of what's coming out in March. So that's the first quarter of releases. But what are we going to be trying to get done in 2024 hobby-wise? Claw, do you have any hobby goals, plans, ambitions for 2024?
Nope. Next.
No, oh, okay, that was easy. Right, okay, I'll put you in the background because I think Void said he did have some.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got hobby resolutions. They're not going to last more than about 2 weeks, but
don't they say New Year's resolutions is basically a list to do in week 1?
List to do in week 1, yeah, because they won't last until week 2. So my main one this year actually is I'm going to try and stick with one army. Now I will say that I came up with this resolution shortly after Christmas. Between Christmas and New Year, that one army has changed about 7 times. But in my 24, I'm setting my stall out of I'm going to try and make White Company work. And obviously with my tactical incompetence, genius, it'll be fine. So my New Year's resolution is I'm going to try and get through the rest of ITS 15, playing White Company.
Does this mean you're going to have to paint your White Company?
Basically, yes.
Didn't you say last year you never wanted to paint any more white again, ever?
Yeah.
Or you're not painting them white?
Um,
I know, I'm just curious. The clue in the title would imply they are white, but...
No, you're absolutely right. And I didn't want to do any more white. I really don't. But yeah, I've decided to do White Company. Don't ask me why. I think I was drunk at the time.
Are you doing them white?
Well, partly white. I mean, any coats are going to be sort of. Apologies for the noise in the background. My dogs are going wild for some reason. But the armor itself is kind of a teal color. But yeah, there's going to be white everywhere because it is a winter kind of base.
Okay. And any others, Lloyd? Or just you're sticking with White Company for 2024?
Well, I'm going to try and stick with White Company.
That's the intention.
The ones I'd said I'm going to try and get more games in, which is so far going well. And the other one is not be so crap at Infinity, but unfortunately, my first game of 2024 I lost, so that one's out the window.
I intend to play better every year. I never manage it. So
Okay, well, in all seriousness, this year for me, I've been gaming for a while, and I've got so much detritus around me. And in Studio A, if you kind of look in the background, there's all kinds of stacks of stuff. And basically, I'm going to clear out stuff. I'm not going to. I've the hoarding of old 80s box sets and things. I'm done. I'm getting rid of them. And I've started already taking things to work because they do trade-ins for old Warhammer stuff for cash or credit. So I've gone for credit and I'm buying kind of Infinity stuff with it. So I'm not actually turning it into real pounds. It's just I'm trading it all in.
Hobby tokens.
Yeah. So for me, I want this year to be get rid of all the old stuff, get rid of all the kind of stuff and the cobwebs in the corners, and start digging out stuff, getting rid, and really kind of like concentrating on the games I want to play. So concentrating on Infinity, concentrating on other bits and pieces, and just get rid of the old stuff that I'm never going to touch again. Because you open cupboards and drawers and things like that, and you see stuff, and it's just like, it's like I've got a filing cabinet behind me. It was full of old Warhammer stuff that I bought off eBay or bought cheap off other people and things like that. I just traded it in and I got like 150 quid for it. It's amazing. And went and bought some more Infinity. It was great. So for me, it really is cleaning up. It's sorting out, playing the games I want to play, and just moving on from stuff that I really got that I'm never going to play again. So, and let's face it, if I ever play them again, I'll just buy different stuff because there'll be different stuff out in it at the time. So, yeah, I've been terrible hoarder all these years since 2005, since I came back to the hobby. I've been a terrible hoarder, so I've got to get rid of some stuff.
Fair enough. I'm going to commit to something now live on YouTube. This is a terrible mistake. I'm going to get all of my Defiance painted in 2024.
Hey!
It's only taken me 3 or 4, 5 years.
I've never played it.
I know, because I've never painted it.
Because
I know it's a board game, but the models aren't board game models. I mean, I play a lot of board games, so I can see the difference between a board game press sculpt and the Infinity model, and no, I can't play with the Infinity model as well painted.
Is it because I'm getting Tag Raid painted up faster than you're getting yours up?
Partly. And I've partly got to make sure I've got it painted up before the spaceships turn up. Yeah. You have to bring that back. I wasn't quick enough to switch screens, Chloe. We only saw the tail end of your giant spaceman.
Okay, look, there we go. Tag Raid. I'm getting there. Look, that's number 3.
Right, quicker than me. You also have a lot less models than me.
That's because I decided to buy the basic.
Yeah.
Not got the extra stuff because I know there's a million models.
So I'm going to be getting my Defiance all painted up this year, which probably means I'll end up playing quite a lot of Shazvasti this year because I'll have painted quite a lot of Shazvasti this year. Or various other.
Steve?
Yeah, I can do you a good deal on some. They've been in the bin, but
As long as you peel the banana skins off, we can talk.
They're white as well.
So that I'd like to finish another terrain set if I can. The one I'm working on. I didn't get quite as far through it over my Christmas break, so that needs doing. And yeah, there's a couple of non-Infinity bits I'd like to do. I'd like to actually get around to playing BattleTech this year.
I'm trying not to get sidetracked by other systems, but yeah.
You can say I like having something just occasionally just to change, so I'm not playing Infinity all the time. I love Infinity; it's a fantastic game, and I play it more than anything else. But occasionally, you just want to play something else, just for a change, just to shake things up. So yeah, I think that Painting Defiance is the big one for me this year, because I know there's a lot there to do. I need to just crack on and get through it. So yeah, that's us for 2024. I'm assuming you guys in chat have things you want to do. If you want to tell us what they are, that's great. If not, good luck getting them done anyway. And I think certainly something that is on all of our lists is probably play more games.
Definitely.
We all like playing games, and
as always,
yeah.
always play more games. In fact, I've altered my hours at work so I can actually play more games, so I can kind of stay behind at work and play games, which is nice.
Does Mrs. Claw know you've altered your hours, or are you just going to not come home and just play games?
Well, I'll be coming home at the same time as I would have been doing anyway.
It's all good.
Okay. Richard Rushworth says, curious about the action packs. Alexander Haynes says, Happy New Year, guys. Great to see you again. Nice to see you again, Alexander. Psychic Storm, the Anathematic is a really popular sculpt, including the antennas. The new sculpt will be interesting to see with those wiggly things.
Alien dreads.
The alien dreads that are going to fall off.
I've assembled the model once. It wasn't even for myself, and it took me hours to get those damn things to stay in place. So I was not in a rush to do it again.
Richard Russo says, was the Taru plastic in Aristea? Maybe it's in metal. No, the Aristea alternative sculpt was metal.
Yeah,
it is a strange one, that one. This was a skin for Aristea. There's KOTBD, so in metal, but the model was PVC in the game. T-Nexus 13 says, it's okay, Void. My crits can be blamed for overcoming your tactical genius.
Yeah, thanks for that one, Tim.
Psychic Storm says, Tau is a repackage of Aristea, the Aristea box to Infinity Box, February release.
Oh, is he coming in February?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where he fitted.
Yeah, it's just, okay, fair enough. We'd have bought him anyway. Psychic Storm says, nice glow. I'm in the same mindset on the board games, though. My hobby goals for Coyote BD is to paint 200 hours in 2024. 2022 was 156. 2023 was 115. You've timed yourself? Wow. I just kind of like get 5 minutes here and there. I can kind of come out of the way and do some painting. I'm impressed. T-Nexus says, 2 goals for this year for me is get more than undercoat on my Shazvasti and get a table of terrain assembled and painted. There you go.
Good luck.
He's promising there, so you can check up on him. Richard says, I'm the opposite to Claw. I'm accumulating more random stuff, but not intentionally. It just keeps happening. It does. It just keeps happening and happening and happening, and then all of a sudden you've got no room to do anything. And there we go. We're at the bottom of the comments.
You should probably actually do that as an episode. It's like reality TV show of Moved to the Countryside, but it's like piles of shame.
We tried to keep these to an hour. We couldn't do that if we were doing the piles of shame.
That's a fair point, actually. Yeah, it'd be a 6-season run just for my lot.
Coyote says, I like data, so I log my sessions. It started as a way to remember which minis still needed to varnish. Fair enough. I look, it's impressive. You do like data. We know what you can do. You're impressive, mate. Peter and Hurt says, my goal for this year is to win one match at the Munich Infinity League. It doesn't matter which one of my 3 fractions. Just to win one match would be great. Impressive.
Good luck. I'm sure you'll do it. Right then, we are coming up to an hour. So, any closing thoughts, guys, before we wrap this up and let people have the rest of their evening set to themselves?
No, but it's glad to be. I'm glad we're coming back. We'll be here every 2 weeks or so in between our battle report drops. We are experimenting with new things on our videos, so different thumbnails, different bits and pieces, just to keep it fresh. And thanks to Coyote for helping us out with that. So you'll see different things on the videos, different techniques, different ideas. So if you see something on a video you like or you dislike, let us know in the comments, and that's great. Obviously, we've got a few people in the chat today, so just drop us a like on this. Just click that like button. It kind of helps us as we go. In fact, I'll do it now myself. There we go. There's one. And
Woo.
yeah, if you become a member, and you can't get onto the Discord, drop me a PM and we'll talk you through it and get you into the Discord, get you chatting. We're getting quite a nice little community they're going in there. So if you become a member, let us know. We'll get you in the Discord. We can go start chatting, get that community going, because that's what, for me, it's all about this year. I want to make the channel bigger and better and go forward and get a bigger community and start playing more games. Sorry.
That was a lot of last words. Void, any last words from yourself? And thank you before we get to the end for coming on and joining us as a guest. It's always good to see you, hear you, etc., etc.
No, happy to. And seeming I haven't broken my camera by putting my ugly mug on it for too long. But no closing words from me. I'm the same as Claw. It's especially in the wake of our tragic loss of Lawrence, it's definitely about building community. So whoever it was in the chat that lives in St. Helens, let me know, because I live just over the other side of the East Lancs and currently have to drive for miles for games. But yeah, just getting together, get out, play more games, paint more models. It can only be better that way.
Well said. So yeah, get out, everyone, get out, play more games, have more fun. We will be here bringing you Infinity content and other bits and pieces throughout the year. There will be some run races at some point. There'll be some tag raid, depending on how fast I can paint. There may even be some Defiance, as well as our normal battle reports. And thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope 2024 is a good one for you. And take care. We'll catch you in the next one.
Ta-da.